We're still in March and we're pumping out another podcast. Today we're going back to Ottawa. We're talking to the captain behind Boss Thai Boxing in Ottawa, my friend Yuki Yamanaka. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Jay, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, what's going on with that logo on the back? That's pretty nice there, man.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
samurai, yeah, the Boss Thai Boxing logo. Yeah, my wife is a graphic designer, and she just hand drew that when we first opened the gym, just sitting on the couch, you know.
What? No way.
Yeah, yeah, she's quite
Nice,
the artist.
nice. No kidding, man. That looks great. So, man, speaking of which, I don't know if you know, but I was just watching a fight of yours a little while ago. But
Uh-oh.
I first saw you fighting on Journey Fight Series, and I might even it might even be before this one. But I remember you fought Greg Lamotte from Victoria, but you
Yep.
were on Journey Fight Series before that, right?
No.
So
No.
that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I was like, yeah, and I was really impressed. And I just was like, wow. And to be honest, at the time, we didn't really have the social media. So we definitely had a West scene and an East scene. We kind of still do. But, listen, this is a huge country, right? It's not cheap to go back and forth. But anyway, yeah, man. We have a lot to talk about. I want to fill in all the gaps between then and being a fighter and being a coach at Team Canada and over here, gym and all kinds of good stuff, man. But first, tell us about Boss Thai Boxing, man. When did it open up and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so the gym, I guess we were established in 2019.
Okay.
And we didn't really have a gym then. I was training people out of my basement. My first fighter ever was trained in my basement.
Yeah, classic
And
story.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And the first classes we held were actually at a community gym in a small town called Smiths Falls, about an hour, no, probably 40 or so minutes from Kemptville.
Okay.
My wife did the gym's website, and as an exchange of service, they allowed us to use like the all-purpose room, the recreation room, for several months, once a week, and I
Oh,
held Muay Thai classes there in
nice,
2019.
nice.
Yeah.
And then when was the jump? Like, all right, we're gonna do this.
The jump was my one of my mentors and now business coach. He got me in touch with somebody who was running a Muay Thai program in Kemptville here, and we met up and we were like, hey,
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I said Ottawa, right?
I don't recall.
I think I did. I'm
Maybe.
sorry, man.
I'm
I'm
so
sorry.
used to it. We're like lumped in with Ottawa. We're 30 minutes from
Okay.
there, right? So
Sorry, pal.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, no one knows where Kemptville is, unfortunately. But yeah, so our mentor just he was my mentor, he was his mentor. He said, you guys should maybe look at working together. And we did. We hooked up, and then we're just like, okay, maybe this could work, maybe this could happen. And we started looking at commercial real estate spots in Kemptville, and we found a nice starter spot that was 1,500 square feet. And we signed the lease, like October of 2019, right after my wife and I got married. And yeah, we got into renovating, and then we opened our doors December 2019. Um, and because of the classes he had going on, the classes I had going on, we kind of had a base of like 40 students or so. And yeah, we signed a few people, and then we instantly closed for COVID. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say right when you open up. Yeah, no, you don't.
yeah, exactly. So that was about a year and a half of like closed, not closed, and our gym was just full of windows. We
Mhm.
had like the mayor's kids doing remote training with us, and we're a startup. We're just like having to kind of abide by just all the protocols and everything.
Yeah.
I had a day job then still, so I
Mm.
was able to like make ends meet essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, and throughout the pandemic, that partner is no longer with us. We bought him out. Things went sideways. And then yeah, like we got out of the pandemic, and then 2022, I'll call it onwards, I quit my day job and full steam ahead on the gym.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice. And you enjoy being a small business owner running a gym?
I do. Oh
Yeah,
man, like yeah,
I
like
hope
the
so.
pandemic was a great time to reflect on all sorts of things.
Yeah.
And working for myself and having that time freedom and not being, glued to a 9 to 5 sort of thing. There were a lot of little realizations, I guess, that I had. And yeah, I love it. I wouldn't trade it. I don't think I could work for anyone else ever again
Yeah.
after
Yeah, no, I
after
hear
this
you.
transition.
What
Yeah.
do you, what about running a gym, being a small business owner caught you off guard so far? Things you didn't expect maybe?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of this. There's a lot, obviously. Um, I would say the biggest thing is, especially when you're just starting off and, you have a small school and then we're scaling up bigger. I forgot to mention we moved into a much bigger place this past summer, and
Yeah,
now we've got like 4,000 square feet. We took over an old auto garage. Um, and I was messaging you about like what your mat square footage was like, and I just
right.
wanted to make sure we had enough and all that. But to answer your question, when we were first starting out, I think it was the idea of community could get you can lose sight of it really quickly and maybe have too much overlap with people, and we don't have like strong boundaries necessarily when you first open, because everyone is your student but also your friend, and then they're like your family. And then I would say that that's been the biggest learning experience, I would say, especially in the last year or so, is just like as we get you know scaled up and bigger, like we have to just kind of mind those boundaries and those relationships a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I hear you. I have a few students that listen to this, and I don't know, maybe you do fit in this category, but there's there and there does become, from what I see, is a little bit of sense of entitlement sometimes, and
Mm.
that's that boundary, and it's like listen, I do want to be your friend. I also have a business to run. Like sometimes that's oil and water. I admit that uh, I thought I'd be like, listen, just like anyone else, you work hard for 8, 9, maybe 10 hours a day. And then you put it down and you go to bed and then you realize, no, no, this is a 24/7 thing.
Yeah.
There's never a mental break.
Yeah, it's very easy to exactly just work. Let's say you can squeeze 7 hours of sleep, then the other 16 hours, like you could easily be working 18
Yeah.
hours. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That was something that maybe as I get older, I don't know if it gets better, probably gets worse to be honest. But as I think it was episode 3, my instructor and business partner said, maybe somehow in life you don't end up with more responsibilities, but you sure as hell never end up with any less.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And I think just like working with my business coach, even just like my wife's an entrepreneur as well, and like we talk often about just like having other than boundaries with like people, just like making sure we've got boundaries with like, okay, the putting the phone away,
Yeah.
don't bring the laptop home, like it's gonna be okay if you take care of it tomorrow. Like we gotta exercise a lot of that too.
Yeah, and that comes
Yeah.
with being a business owner, entrepreneur. It's easy to work 24 hours a day, right? Like, you gotta force yourself to stop sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, Now how about yourself, man? Like I said, I got to see you as an amateur. I was quite impressed with your skills. Just I don't know. I guess just you go to so many fight cards, you think you sort of have seen everyone or know everybody, and I'm like, well, who the hell's this guy? How come he's so good? Where's he from? Tell us about your Muay Thai journey. How did you get involved in Muay Thai and fighting all the way up to coaching and all that good stuff?
Cool. Yeah. So we can start even before that. Like I started martial arts when I was 7.
Okay.
I was a karate kid, and I know you're a karate guy too.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, from 7 to 17, 18 or so, I was doing karate.
Okay.
Um, my 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 Kyoshi, my Renchi Kyoshi, he was um he was also a Golden Gloves boxer.
Oh, nice.
He was actually, I know you like Jean-Yves,
You
uh,
bet. Tyrio,
right?
yeah, you bet, man.
He was Jean-Yves' boxing partner, I want to say. I don't think he was his coach, but he worked with Jean-Yves often on his hands.
Wow, is that right? Yeah,
Yeah.
listen, I'm not ChatGPT, so take it easy, people. But I would put Johnny's probably pound for pound best fighter Canada's ever produced. For now.
Well,
For now.
yeah,
For now.
yeah. So it's true. Yeah, there's a lot of fights. Yeah, a lot of titles and everything, right? So
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna forget this question, and I just want to ask real quick. So since you're a karate man and transitioning to Muay Thai, I'm curious what things did you take away from karate that transitioned real well into Muay Thai?
I would say footwork and
Yeah.
movement.
Okay.
Yeah, just that bounce, just being like I realize it now that I'm like teaching so many people that have never done martial arts before or have like an athletic background, but maybe haven't done martial arts before. Just their ability to get on like the balls of their feet is incredibly difficult.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I would say doing karate, that's probably one of the biggest things that really transferred over in terms of skills.
Yeah, I like your shirt, man.
Hey, I put it on this morning, right? Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
In the spirit of the Shadow podcast, I had to put it on here.
My goodness, I could tell your muscles were looking a little bit bigger.
All right, so okay, we're
So 7 to
resuming.
17, you were a karate man.
Karate Man, yeah, 7 to 17, and then I took a break from martial arts and karate when I was 18 to 22.
Right.
Um, and yeah, I think my attitude at the time was definitely like, I think I'm done with this karate thing. Like, martial arts is great, but I think it's, I was more interested in like going to the gym, girls, and all that
Hmm.
stuff. And that's when I was transitioning to university as well. I went to
Right.
school for civil engineering at Carleton, and
Sorry,
yeah,
on
just
that topic as well. I tell people that whether it's coaches or parents or the students, once you have them when they're young, there's that fork in the road when they're done high school.
yeah,
Do they somehow stay on that path? Is it university? Is it girls and partying? Is it drugs? You know what I mean? Like, is it moving away?
yeah,
It's funny enough that you said that. That immediately I thought of that. That's that fork in the road right when you're done high school.
yeah, and yeah, I keep it top of mind, and um, I don't let it get to me when, let's say, like I have students here that I see that they have that fork in the road. And I'm
Yeah,
like, it's all good. We've been there, you know.
yeah.
And yeah, so 18 to 21 or so, took a break. Um, just got into some bad stuff in terms of just like wasn't proud of like the person I was becoming, all the partying and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I feel like a lot of people in their early 20s, they have like a reality check moment where like something significant can happen in their life.
Maybe late
And
30s if you're me.
sure, yeah, sure, yeah, everyone's a little different. Yeah, so I had that in my early 20s, and then I realized I needed martial arts back. I needed discipline back. I needed like structure,
Yeah.
um, to keep me focused. So then, yeah, I found Muay Thai when I was 21 or so, and I don't know if you remember like Groupon and Deal Find, but
Of
those
course,
like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
As a business owner, I hated them.
yeah. So I think I signed up for like $20 for 20 classes
Exactly.
at Auto Academy of Martial Arts
Okay.
at Owama, yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I walked in the doors. My first class was Crew Jeff Harrison.
Nice.
Um, I think it was my first class, and I think it was his last class before he went back to Cambridge
No way.
in 2011. Yeah,
Funny how that works.
yeah. And so then he left, and then I kept to it. I kept at it. And my first fight was 2013. Yeah,
Okay. Why
2013.
why Muay Thai? Why not karate again? Why not boxing, kung fu? Why was it Muay Thai?
I honestly, my buddy was just like, "Yo, you got to try this Muay Thai thing." And I'm like, "Okay." Like
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
remember kicking stuff like let's try this out, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I was just also done with the idea of karate. Uh, mind you, I say I did karate, but like again, my teacher was Jean-Yves, boxing guy. We did a lot of kickboxing and boxing.
Nice.
Yeah, and yeah, I think, and I really enjoyed that in my later teen years. And I think after doing my first Muay Thai class, realizing a lot of that was applicable, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this
Right.
is sweet, and it was a workout, right? Like it kicked my ass. Um,
Mhm.
it was the humbling experience I needed at 21. Yeah,
Right, right, yeah. I
yeah,
guess I did too, matter of fact. I remember my first class, fighters class in Mike Miles, and that was my first realization that you can't just, like, have fun and go fight, like, oh my and believe me, I was told many times before that, I just wasn't listening. But, yeah, that was a realization for me, like, "Holy cow, this is really hard."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, nice. And so at what point was it how long were you training? At what point was it like, "Yeah, it's time to go slap some fools?"
Yeah, I think I always knew I wanted to fight. Just like I kind of got fast tracked, if you will, while I was first starting. People knew I had a background in martial arts. Funny enough, someone I did karate with my whole life, he was also an instructor and a up and coming fighter at Tawama,
Okay.
Fred Stonehouse. He now owns Surge MMA in east part of Ottawa.
Okay.
So yeah, so when I joined, like he spoke highly of me, and we trained, and then all the coaches kind of had their eyes on me, and fast tracked me a bit to like join the fight team and train with the fighters and everything. Um, so yeah, the goal was always to compete. I didn't know if it was gonna be once. I didn't know if it was like something I wanted to do for a long time or whatever.
Right.
But eventually, just the opportunity lined up, and I think it was September 2013 or so was my first match. Yeah,
And did you compete a lot in karate?
just in-house. No,
Yeah.
no, no outside tournaments, but we did a lot of in-house like katas and point sparring and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was fun.
And listen, I still love karate, but I got it. I had this conversation a little while ago. Somebody saying the Karate Kid was a good movie, and like the original, and I just was like, get the fuck out of here with that, because even as a kid, I knew that tough guys don't do that with their fingers, curl their fingers up. I couldn't buy that even as a kid, and it was yeah, man, the applicable, the realism of Muay Thai's, yeah, really drew me in. What was it early on? You knew you wanted to compete when you started training?
I think so. I think just being immersed in that environment and just like training alongside the fighters and just kind of seeing all this fight news, like Martello was on his amateur tear. Trying to think of some other names here. I don't know if you know Jeff Chan, MMA Shredded.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he lives
he
in
was
Calgary
on.
now.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he was on his up and up to I think transitioning to MMA. Yeah, just like being in that environment and then going to the events. Like this was like a whole new
yeah,
world that I had no idea,
yeah, man.
existed.
Nothing's like fight night, man. I love fight night.
Yeah, like I went to one of Jean Yves shows when I was like 10 or 11 to the Iceman kickboxing fights in Gatineau, close to
Nice.
Ottawa here. And be like, that was neat, but like I wasn't old enough to like really appreciate it, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Um, how many fights have you had?
Uh, I had 27 or 8 or so, and then a bunch of smokers.
Yeah, nice. That's a lot of fights. Yeah.
Yeah.
What what was it about fighting? So I might do one, I might do more. So obviously you did more. What
Mhm.
what was it? What did you like about fighting? Why did you do more?
Yeah, so why did I do more? So I actually lost my first fight,
Okay.
split
Who'd you
decision.
fight?
Someone from Dao in Quebec.
Okay.
Same gym Stephen Opong came from.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't remember his name. French lad.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, and then about 6 months after that, I had my second fight in Gatineau as well. That one went well for me. And then I went on a trip to Thailand.
Okay.
It was my second trip actually. My first trip was my graduation trip at a university. Just my buddy and I just backpacked Asia.
Yeah.
My second trip was actually with OTTAWA,
Okay.
and
Nice.
it was a joint trip with OTTAWA and Mass Thai Boxing.
Mhm.
And so when I got there, like the intention for me was just like I'm on vacation, I'm just training. Everyone else was there though for the WMOs, the World
Yeah.
Championships in Ayutthaya. And yeah, I was like, it was my first proper training trip, which I really liked, and I think my passion for Muay Thai grew a lot more. And
Nice.
then I think having a conversation with Chris Q over a beer before the tournament, he was like, "Why don't you just enter the tournament?" I'm like, "Oh, because I have 2 fights." And then my coach at the time, Crew Merrick, this Polish guy, he was like, "Yeah, you should do it." And I'm like, "Why didn't we talk about this before? Why are
Yeah,
we
no,
like suddenly deciding now over a Chang beer like that
we
we're
had a
gonna do this
long
tournament?"
plane ride, boys. We could have had a long discussion about this.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." Like he's like, "You're here, you might as well do it." And I'm like, "Okay." Oh, sorry. Not
Okay.
realizing that like people that enter these tournaments, like these Europeans have like 50, 60, 70 fights, right?
All right.
But I did with my two, and it went all right. I got to the finals and I lost. I got silver medal.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and I think
So what
at
did
that
that do for you?
moment,
Wait, mentally coming out of that, like, oh geez, come on, guys, I don't know. Like, where were you mentally at after that? What were you thinking?
after we agreed to do it,
No, I mean, you get a silver medal and you're like, geez, man, I got 2 fights. I just kind of did this last minute. Like, were you like, well, maybe I am pretty good at this? Like, what were you kind of thinking after that?
I think it was, hey, don't underestimate like skills. Like I had something. I wasn't by all means. I was not great at all. but it was enough to, get me by a
Sure.
round or two of fighters and to make it to the finals. So it definitely drove me to want to invest more of my time and energy and my life into the sport.
Cool.
Because it was just like, yeah, I did all right, and there's clearly a lot more to learn, and it inspired me and motivated me to keep going, right?
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
And so was that the when you fought Greg Lamont? Was that your one and only fight in Calgary?
No, so 2014 was that Worlds. Uh, Crew Jeff came back 2015 to Ottawa, and then I was under him from that point forward, and we did a ton of fights. And then Greg was 2016. Greg was
Hmm.
2016 in Calgary. Oh, actually, it would be the only one in Calgary because then I had a few with Mukai in Edmonton,
Yeah. Yeah.
the ECL series. Yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah. Shout out to Mackay, friend of the
yeah,
show.
yeah,
Um, Matter of fact, I keep trying to get well, not keep, but we had I'll try again to get Jeff on here, but our schedules. No, sorry, I'm in Bangkok. No, can't. And then you just carry on with life. But I'd like to obviously have a chat with him. And I see you guys. I see you at that gym a lot. Like the Ontario scene, I see everybody everywhere. Like it's funny how that works. Like from the other side of the country. So I definitely I see you over there. So obviously you guys still have a good strong connection, which
yeah.
is all.
Like, yeah, like in 2017, we call it the Great Divorce in Ottawa, or at least I call it that.
Okay.
Everybody was under one roof, under OTTAWA, and then just people just weren't seeing eye to eye, disagreements. I think just standing by their values, and people like Krujev left Owama to open his own gym. He actually
Mhm.
called me on my birthday in 2017, being like, "Hey, happy birthday!" And I left. So just so you know,
So have a good day.
yeah, pretty much. And yeah, like his core students and fighters that he was training, followed him, like Taylor, myself. Um, and yeah, I was with him ever since. And then I had fights under him in 2017, 18. 2018 was my last fight in Edmonton, I think. My second last fight was with Eddie Chang.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I like Eddie.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I can remember that fight actually. I'm curious to know from you. Did you know? I don't know if you remember. Did you notice in Calgary, or are you aware of when you guys fight here of the altitude? Do you notice it all, or do your fighters notice?
Um, I did not notice when I was there. It could
Yeah,
be a huge factor as to why I felt like I couldn't do well in Edmonton. But
right.
I'm like the king of split decision losses, man. It's crazy. Um, the one in Calgary on Journey Fight Series went well. I think that was more of a mindset thing for me.
Okay.
I didn't really even think of altitude then. Honestly, and I think because social media was not as strong then as well, like the discussions on altitude and whatnot, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't really talked about much.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
yeah. So
I just
I don't think my fighters really feel it either. Yeah.
yeah, nice. Okay. I just with the amount of people coming, well, from east to west, I just I hear it. We hear it a lot. But
I think it's a real thing. It's definitely a
sure,
real thing that
sure.
should be considered people fighting at a high level for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it yeah, it affects some more than others. I was just curious if that was something you had to deal with at all. Um, and now when was your last fight?
So my last fight was June 2018. I fought a guy who moved to Calgary as well, I think. Juan Pablo Salazar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, and man, so that fight, I got a knee to the face,
Okay.
which
Is
dropped
that
me
full Muay Thai?
full Muay Thai. Yeah.
Okay, so good for him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Good for him. Great for
Not you,
him.
yeah.
I rallied hard after the first round, and I was able to retire him. So like he didn't answer the bell coming out to the third round.
Okay.
But then after that, clearly I had some head trauma from taking that knee to the face, and we accepted a fight in for Warriors Cup that was supposed to be a month after, and I jumped into sparring a little way too soon, and I just ate way too many shots that I wasn't ready for. And basically the concussion, yeah, man, just the concussion is what basically put me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that it wasn't your plan to wasn't your plan to have that be your last fight?
No, I don't think it was my plan. No, we were definitely um no, it was not the plan. It was
Yeah.
to see how far we could go,
Sure,
and
sure.
yeah.
And and at what point then post concussion symptoms did you decide, you know what, we're done here?
I think my work was a big factor.
Okay.
Being an engineer, I was starting to climb the ranks of like a senior engineer, project manager, and all that. And they basically laid it out as like, if you're gonna keep doing this fighting thing, like we're gonna have to talk about your career because we kind of need your brain, and we can't necessarily, they were helpful and accommodated when I needed to take breaks because of my concussion, but like they also like they can't afford to just like have me like take several weeks off because of my head, for instance,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
No, I get that.
yeah, that was a reality, and my wife and I were going to be getting married within the year, so that was a factor as well of like the next stage in life. And a discussion was always like, I have the drive and the work ethic and the skills to go much farther, but I'd have to go all in, like be an engineer and still trying to train at like the level I want to compete at is very difficult.
Hmm.
So there was like a decision to be made there too of like, are we actually doing both here, or are we gonna pick one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you work with the same company until your last day?
Yes. Yeah.
So how was that? To finally be like, hey, I made a decision, guys. Peace out.
Yeah, so they basically said, "So are you done fighting?" I was like, I guess, indirectly answered yes. I worked there, when we launched Boss in 2019 throughout the pandemic. The pandemic made me realize that I did not want to work at a desk anymore. I think everyone suffered terribly with their mental health during the pandemic.
Yeah, we all got
Um,
weird.
yeah, exactly. And then and just like working from home on these projects was just not great. So in 2022, they were like, okay, year end, here's a promotion. You're going to be like a senior now. You're going to potentially get a company car if you want, all this stuff. Do you accept? And I was like, actually, no. I'm actually going to be stepping away and being self-employed now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, good for you, man. That
Yes.
was a scary decision?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're going from this like cushy like six-figure salary job, um, to just like, hey, you gotta figure it out, if
yeah.
yeah,
You're
you don't
responsible
eat.
for every dollar.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
no,
think
I
that
hear
caught
you.
them by surprise for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, is that right, eh? Good for
Yeah.
you, man. Good for you. I had to have felt a little bit nice, just not even about your job, but just the corporate world or the 9 to 5 gig. Like, you know what? Peace out. Like, not part of that
Yeah.
world anymore.
And in all honesty, I always thought that I could be a better coach than I was a fighter.
Yep,
Um,
I hear you.
I think a lot of especially around like like my upbringing and just even the industry, I think a lot of coaches like martial arts and fighting is just like all they have known, for
Hmm.
instance. Um, I don't know if many of them have gone. I gotta watch what I say here. I don't mean to insult anyone, but just gone to university, worked the corporate desk job, trying to balance that with fighting and like your strength training and your Muay Thai training and all that road work. Like it
Hmm.
could be a lot for sure, and I think I can empathize a lot with people who are on that path that are also trying to
Sure.
compete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got you. And you don't have to watch what you say. You described me, like outside of my family. Like, I can't hold a normal conversation with people. All I do is combat sports. It's all I want to watch. It's like, that's it. I'm not, that's me. No post secondary. I had to have had 40 jobs to become a martial arts instructor full time and then eventually an owner. So I hear you, man. That's me. I thankfully have found things like this and commentating and I still get to stay fully involved in it. And as I've said a million times, there's life after fighting. Not that I was anything like that, but luckily I found a good lane that I really still get to do being involved with martial arts because same thing. I'm doing this my whole life every day, and I can tell you that it's as you get older, it gets. I'll be honest, it gets slightly harder to step on the mats.
Mm.
Every day. You
Hmm.
know, so I hear what you're saying, and
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no offense taken.
I will say though, like, man, times have changed too, though, right? Like, just by just going to school doesn't mean things are gonna work out great. Like,
Yep,
especially in
true.
today's day and age, like, I don't know about education. I don't know if that's really it's definitely not what it used to be in terms of like
Yep.
your opportunities.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Good call, man. Good call. Um, and so how was dealing with that decision? Like, I'm done fighting. Like, it's really over. Was that? I know you said like there was work and other things, but was that a hard thing for you to deal with?
Um, yes,
Fighter
like
identity.
exactly, right? For sure. Fighter identity is huge, is it was a huge factor. And I think finding relevance in the sport still when you're done fighting is important, and that's where I found officiating.
Hmm.
Right? That's where I found being a referee and a judge, and helping out crew Jeff at the gym and like cornering people, helping coach people, helping cornering people. Um, and like I've gone on a few road trips with Taylor, just like being in her corner, all over the place. And yeah, I think it was definitely hard, but having the gym and that community and that group and having the opportunities to referee and judge was definitely a way I coped with it. And
Huh.
then when my wife and I naturally moved out to Kemptville, right around when we got married, that just kind of opened a whole new set of doors of like, well, there's no real like Muay Thai here. So maybe that's the next venture.
Yeah, cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. Did you know you were going to be an official? Was that something you were looking for, or was that just like you said, we all got squirrely during COVID, something you thought you might pick up?
So I actually became an official while in my last year of fighting.
Okay.
I just had like a few like really weird decisions.
Hmm.
And again, king of split decision losses. I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, I just needed to like understand the rules and be like, what's going on?
Right.
And I think just getting involved in the sport in that way was fun. And it was like I got to understand the criteria a bit more. And I was like, if I can complain all I want about, results and whatnot, but like I can try to be part of the change as well, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought becoming an official was gonna be a good option.
Yeah. Very smart. And like, listen, obviously the last couple of podcasts, it's been pretty hot topic
Oh
on
yeah,
officiating.
yeah, yeah,
but we don't have to get into it. But I hear that. Well, obviously now you said it, but I heard that from a lot of top guys. And I mean like Danny Bill, for example. I mean the top that said the same. Like they were experts at the rules. Like they completely understood the rule set, and so that's how they base their game around. Like so, very engineering of you, sir.
yeah. And yeah, like our gym, especially with our even our recreational students, it's they like to know like the rules of the game, if you will, because they watch it as well, right? They watch our team compete. They like to go to the local fight events, so that they like understanding the rule set as well, and it's definitely helpful for our coach, our fighters, sorry, to know the rules.
Yes.
And we probably have like a lot of the key officials in Ottawa are from my gym.
Was that right? Okay.
Yeah, and it's like when there's a conflict because like one of our guys is fighting, for instance, or gals are fighting, like they have to do a huge switcheroo, right? And because a
Sure.
lot of our people can't judge or referee our own athletes because of the
Right.
conflict.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of a problem sometimes.
Well, true, but I mean, I kind of addressed it on the podcast I just had with Kieran Walsh, though. Like, but sometimes there's just not enough people doing the job. Like, so you need help. Sometimes it's just got to be that way.
Mhm.
Like I was saying, it's the same 8 people doing the same events every weekend, or if not more than one event. Oh, so when you're done that, then like, sorry, my guy's fighting. I'm assuming everybody cannot be part of that. Judging whatever refing. Now, say that fight's over, and now it's Philadelphia versus Los Angeles. Can you go back to being an official, or are
Yep.
you like, can you not do it for the whole night?
I don't think we're at the point yet where I can just check off for the night.
Hmm.
Like our team is like the Ottawa officials team is still growing, and like you referenced in your podcast with Kieran, like we had that the training course the day the last capital punishment.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So the team is growing, and we're trying to, build that roster. But for now, I don't think we're able to do that yet. We don't have enough people that are comfortable refereeing.
sure. No,
Yeah.
sure, I get it. Um, and so I'm not asking you to be the be all end all of this information, but so how does it work? Is it like, are you like a level 19 official? Like, is there levels? I don't. How does it with Muay Thai Canada? I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say there's levels. It's just I would say just experience, I guess.
Yeah,
So I guess this is my eighth, I think eighth or ninth year officiating. Um, but yeah, you start and then you shadow for a good while. You're
yeah.
like the Art of War that just passed. I was the head official, but we had a bunch of officials in training who were just like scoring,
Yeah.
and then they would send all their cards to me, and then I would look at it and be like, "Whoa, okay, I'm gonna talk to this person in between fights to be like, what were we seeing here?"
Right.
Um, and then I would say it's just kind of time in, as in terms of seniority, and then very recently, Muay Thai Canada did send uh, a handful of officials to Bangkok
Yeah.
to get certified at Lumpini.
So Dark
Um,
Side Darrow was there.
yeah, Darkside Daryl, Crew Laura, Matt Richardson from our gym. Um, yeah, lots of people were, invited to go to the training sessions so they could referee WMC fights and professional fights.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the intention. So I would say as of now, then there's probably like three tiers. So the officials in training, the regular official like myself, and then we've got the more recently like
Senior
certified through
official
Lumpini
status.
people. Yeah,
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool. Um, oh man, there's a question I was gonna ask too about that, about officiating. Shadowing you. Um,
sorry, man.
oh, it's okay. That's why I gotta interrupt. Otherwise, my ADD brain
Yeah.
gets in the way and I forget. Excuse me. And uh, how many like because you got fighters, you got to be at fight events too. But how many? I don't know if a month or a year. I don't know if you can kind of guesstimate either way. But how many shows would you say you officiate a year or a month per se?
I would say Ottawa. I'm pretty much just sticking to Ottawa. Like when I go to Toronto or other place cities for fight events for my athletes, I am not stepping into the ring. Like the
Yeah. Okay.
GTA has so many officials and that could help out. Like you don't need me, you know.
Sure.
So in Ottawa, I would say the key events would be like Art of War in February. Um, now with Capital Punishments, more regular events now. Capital Punishment in April. Um, mine in July Capital Punishment in the fall. That's four. Crew Jeff usually hosts a show at least once, so that's
Right.
five. Am I missing one? It's at least I would say it's every 2 months or so. There's like a show in Ottawa.
Man, would
Yeah.
you say would you say you guys Ottawa right now is like the sort of Muay Thai hotbed in the country?
No, I think there's Muay Thai Ontario fight events almost weekly
Yeah,
for sure.
if not several on the same day.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like the night where I was the head official for Art of War, like Chris Q had his show as well, right?
Yeah.
Every year that always happens. They always pick the last weekend in February, both those promoters. Um, so yeah, exactly. There could be fights on the Friday night and the Saturday night. There could be two on the Saturday. So, but definitely weekly, there's something going on with Muay Thai Ontario. I would say I don't know if Ottawa's the hotbed. I still think it's in the GTA. I think especially with like the matches that Ben's putting together in Ottawa, um, and even just like the Pan Ams that Crewlin and Crew Jeff put together in Ottawa, like there's been a lot of high profile fights in Ottawa for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, and I don't mean any disrespect to anybody else, but the high quality fight cards too, from production to advertising, and it's Ottawa knows what they're doing in that department. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
and even Sasha, like I can't forget about Sasha. Art of War always has bangers too.
Yeah, yeah, you
So
bet. Well, I mean, is there a better backdrop?
right, yeah, I was in.
Absolutely not.
I fought in Art of War one. I just remember, yeah, that
Oh,
was an
no
awesome
way.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. What were your favorite tools in the ring, man? What did you like to do?
Um, left knee and high kick.
Okay.
Left knee,
Both left side?
high kick right side. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
And
So
orthodox?
orthodox.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What weight class did you fight in?
71 kg, which is 155 day
Yeah,
of,
okay.
and then near the end was more 67 kg, so 147 day before.
Day
Yeah,
before. Yeah, okay.
day
Nice.
before.
Nice. Now coaching, man, how I see you have all sorts of fun events, man. I'm not gonna lie. I try to like copy them and then I just get too busy. I just don't. But you have all kinds of things happening at your gym, man. So outside of let's call it just we can talk about recreational members, but we'll just keep that aside for a sec. But how many fighters right now do you have like on the fight team? How many competitors or up and comers? You know what I mean? How many competitors you got?
Yeah,
If not
I'd
fighters.
say it's an interesting question to answer right now. We're going through a bit of a rebuild.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I hear you.
yeah, and I think this is the first cycle of like that boss will be going through. And I know like you've been in the game for a long time. Gyms go through these cycles, right?
Hmm.
Um, Zach's retired now. I'm sure he doesn't mind me mentioning that. He's saying it, talking about it openly. Zach's
All right.
retired now from fighting. Um, Grace has found a new home. My other fighter, Mabel, she's transitioning to be going into physiotherapy school, so taking a break from competing a bit. And then I've got another, she's got 6 fights or so she's like just motivated to fight. But other than that, I've got a bunch of teenagers that are just rearing to go, you
Yeah.
know.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
it's actively. Oh, and I have a few other working professionals that can fight seasonally,
Yeah. Okay.
that are like they work jobs, they're parents, they have they own companies, whatever. So they're like, I could only fight like between these months.
Yeah.
So I have some of those fighters as well. So I would say probably actively I probably have like 6 or so,
Yeah.
and then I've got a handful of young and up and comings that are and kids that are like really raring to go.
And I
Yeah,
just saw you had something happen at your gym. Was that on Saturday?
yeah, we had a youth sparring day. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you? What's that about?
So I basically like I was trying to make a day where we can get kids to get like gather and basically have these like light contact matches as a stepping stone before an actual fight or an actual
Mhm.
competition. Um, I had a few kids that probably stepped in the ring without enough just experience in general,
Sure.
and it's a
Yeah.
scary thing, right? Like especially with like with the lights are off, you got this spotlight on you, you have this like hundreds of people watching you, and you're
People
like,
screaming your name.
yeah, like it's
Yep.
a scary thing for a 7, 8, 9-year-old for sure.
Yep.
Even for adults. So
Yes.
yeah, and so I was like, we need this like, there's a hole in the Ottawa area for sure where for kids to like get together and and play Muay Thai in a very controlled and safe way, um, as a stepping stone to competing, or maybe no stepping stone. Maybe they just love doing these kinds of events,
Hmm.
right? And
Yep.
that's totally fine. And like honestly, I look at my upbringing and like I did a ton of those in karate, a ton. And I think it helped a lot with my development as just like as a person and finding confidence. And
Yeah.
I think kids need that.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's if you love what you're doing, it's a fun day of doing what you love. You know.
Man, my heart was so full that day. Like we had like 5 participating gyms. They all brought their kids, and I wanted to make it clear like this is not a fight event. Especially
Yeah.
for
Please don't
anyone
turn
like,
this into a shit day.
yeah, yeah. I didn't want people to look at it and poke at it and like, report me or whatever. Like we like had a group warm up. We all hit pads and then they all sparred each other. And then there were a few 1-on-1v1s, you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
What other things do you do, man? I see all sorts of like fun parties and what other classes do you or even events like that do you have at the running at the gym?
Um, So for the kids, we got like kids parties at for like Valentine's Day, Halloween and
Yeah,
stuff.
you don't miss, do you? Like like everything like that. There's always something, right?
We got, man, we plan our year out. Like we've got a calendar and
You engineer.
well, it's honestly thanks to my business coach. Like we got to plan it out, And
Yep.
my wife is our graphic designer, part owner, like, and to make sure that our life is coordinated, like we have to plan. Or
Sure.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So we have kids parties, we got kids gradings, we got now we have that youth sparring day. What else? Um, parent parent and child training days on Mother's Day, Father's Day.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking too. Yeah.
that
Do you
sort of
follow?
stuff.
Speaking of testing, is it just in-house grading, or is there a system like Muay Thai Ontario or Muay Thai Canada uses?
No, it's just
Yep.
in-house testing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I do the same. Yeah, yeah. I got you. Yeah,
yeah.
cool. Um, why do you do that?
I don't do it for the adults.
Yep.
For the adults, it's just like we just have one grading and we call it just it's just to go up to sparring. But for the kids, we didn't have it when we first started because when you first open a business, you're just like just trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
But kids definitely in this society in North America, I'll say, I feel just need something to strive towards. Like,
Hmm.
why am I doing
Hmm.
this, right?
Yep.
Because they're not kids in Thailand that just train all the time because that's just life.
Right.
Um, Yeah.
The only belts that matter are the ones you get in the ring. Yeah, that works for a very super small percentage of us.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't work here. And yeah, they definitely need, like something that they're striving towards,
Yep.
this
Yeah,
rank.
exactly.
And yeah, that's essentially why, man.
Yep, I
Yeah.
couldn't agree more. I was just curious what, and I do for adults as well. I don't force them to, but if you want to be part of it, it's the same thing. Like I tell adults, like I don't care if you want to follow the structure or the gradings. If you want to, cool, let's do it. But if anything, just they're even adults. It's always easy to tell your kid, go do this, go do that. It's soccer practice, but it's always easy for adults to be like, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll start. I'm too tired today. Like it just gives you little small goals to keep you motivated to keep going as well. Like it can mean a lot to you or it can mean nothing to you. It doesn't matter. But those little goals along the way, just well, as a business, it helps with retention. And even for adults, it's martial arts can if getting a grading is your world title, give her. I'm happy to help provide that. Not everyone's going to be a world champion. So if something like that gives you that feeling, I'm happy that my gym and the people around you were able to provide that.
That's exactly it, man. And that's exactly why we have an adult grading too. It's just to make sure that they have like the basic requirements to get into sparring.
Right.
You know how
Right.
to defend
According to
yourself.
me, not Muay
Yeah,
Thai, according to me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just to keep everything safe, and also for something for them to look forward to, like you said. And yeah, not everyone wants to fight. Some
Yep.
people like the pinnacle of their Muay Thai journey is just like sparring or doing like an in-house match or something.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
Totally. Yeah.
yeah.
And it took me as a young, 20 something fella, I would be like, oh, shut up. Get in there. Don't be like that or get out of here. But as you get older, more responsibilities, you certainly see that. Yeah. Everybody's allowed to train Muay Thai fighter or not, at least in my facility.
Yeah.
Now, are you the man teaching all the classes there?
No. So Zach is, you know Zach. You've
You bet I
cornered
do.
Zach. You've commentated Zach. Yeah. So Zach coaches Tuesdays and the lunch classes here. I have another fighter, Jess. She is a working professional mother. She's got several fights under her belt. She teaches Thursdays.
Mm.
And Zach and Jess rotate every second Saturday.
Yeah, nice, cool.
Yeah.
And is
Other
it
than
are
that,
you
it's me. Yeah.
yeah, I gotcha. And is there like, do you have fitness classes? Is it just Muay Thai, or do you have other kind of classes involved too?
So we have kids, women's, and adult Muay Thai classes. We just launched a boot camp class just this year. It's something that we've always wanted to add was some sort of strength work.
Mhm.
So my wife teaches one of those on a Friday, and I teach the other one on a Monday. It was a huge part of my upcoming as an athlete too. Just like Crew Jeff taught them as well. So I did like kettlebell workouts all the time to supplement like Muay Thai in my running.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's some value in it. So we have the boot camp class and those three. And right now we have a casual jujitsu program going on right now, Wednesdays and Fridays at noon.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, as an ex-fighter, now coach, gym owner, and official, what would you say are I'm my name's Jason, I'm 18 and I'm full of piss and vinegar and I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna be the world's best fighter. I haven't had a fight yet, but I'm gonna be the world's best. Great enthusiasm. What would you say are the three what if you had to tell me the three most important things, like okay, what would you give with your three, you know what I'm saying? God, I'm not getting this out right.
That I would say to young Jason,
And
or
an
the thing
aspiring
that I'm
fighter, what would be your top three things that you would say to them?
um
Advice. There you go. I
oh,
guess that's the word
advice.
I'm looking for.
Hmm.
Three pieces of advice.
Yeah, I think train hard. So like work ethic, have good work ethic, I guess, if that's a weird piece of advice.
Sure.
But yeah, being coachable, definitely a recommended piece of advice. Um, hmm. I don't know. My brain is leaning towards just being a good person, like just being respectful, being
Sure.
having integrity, like those sorts of things.
Yeah, no, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go as far as training hard and work ethic. Can you break that down even more? Can you give me three out of there? What about work ethic? What are you looking for? So I basically am asking, what are you looking for in your fighters?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like this is really hard way of saying it, but like I don't want to do as you're told. I don't want to comes off a little weird when I say it that way, but
Do as you're
like
told, people.
sorry.
Do as you're told, people.
Just like follow the instructions, right? Boom.
Yeah.
In terms of work ethic too, like I'm also looking for not having to like hold your hand through everything and like also do things on your own. I know it's kind of contradictory to the first point, but like I shouldn't be asking you if you're like running. I shouldn't be asking
Right.
you if you're doing the extra work,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Um,
That's a good one.
yeah, that's a huge one for me, is especially maybe because of my upbringing as, working the full-time job. It's just like it's on me to make sure I do all my runs, I get my strength work in, like yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I guess one more, eh?
If you don't have to dig that far, but
Yeah.
I kind of think like that answer was perfect. I thought you nailed that. Um, and I used to coach Chris McMillan, and again, long retired, but I always tell people whether they want to fight in my gym because he obviously was the most successful that was under me, and I always and you can tell people like feel like shit when they hear it, but I always tell them, you want to know, not one time, not one time that I show up to the gym before Chris. Once he started taking it seriously, not one time was I there before him. And
Mm.
you could tell they're all like, "Oh, like right, like you shouldn't have to wait for me to tell you go grab a rope, go
Yeah,
wrap your hand. You should be ready."
yeah.
So, yeah, I
W
think that's a big part of it. Yeah, good
we
call.
talk about, and I think this is something Crew Jeff, talked about and instilled as well, is just like being an A+ student. So if I was to go back to like a school analogy, is just like, you're paying tuition, you're an A+ student, you're taking your notes, you're doing your homework, you're doing extra studying or whatever. Like you also want to be an A+ student as a competitor too. Like you want to be on time, hands are wrapped, you're changed, you're ready to go when it's time to go. Um,
Well said.
you're not sliding in at the last like 2 seconds before training or whatever. I know everyone's got different circumstances, but you're not
Sure.
just like leaving right away. Like you're like asking like what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Yeah.
You know?
And
Yeah.
and fighters, I'm sure you know, and if you don't, now you do. Your coach knows. They know when you haven't put in the extra. They know when you've left second or third or first. Like they are watching. They notice.
Yeah, because the truth comes out, right? It's
Yep.
like the ring is like the circle of truth. Like the truth comes out if you skipped out on your running, the truth comes out if you weren't great on your diet or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not only is you trying to lie to yourself not going to work, everybody else is going to watch you that lie unfold while you're standing in your underwear out there. Like, I've said it several times. If all those questions, if you just started Muay Thai or maybe you want to take a fight, all the questions you have about yourself will be answered in there.
Mm.
All of them. And then where you go from there, I guess would be up to you. But um, man, so where do you go officiating then? Is there anything that you want out of it? Like, is it just like, listen, I just like doing it, or is there? Are you striving for more as an official?
Um, like yeah,
I don't
I
even
was
know how to
invited.
ask that. Like, where do you go? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, like I was invited to go to the Bangkok training as well, but like this funny enough, Zach was actually in Bangkok training for 6 weeks. So I can't leave the gym either because he would be
Right,
the guy that
right.
was able to look after it if I was gone. But yeah, just logistically, there's no way I could leave. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I just thoroughly enjoy it. It's like the best seat in the house. I'm literally standing
Mhm.
beside them and they're, you know, kicking and
Beat the
punching
piss
and
out of each
elbowing
other,
each
yeah.
other. Yeah, so like I thoroughly enjoy that. Yeah, I don't know. I never really had aspirations to like referee or judge on like a bigger stage or anything. I just think I don't know, maybe it's a way for me to give back to the sport, to the community. I'm happy that I could just be of service.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
yeah, and I want to just do a good job every time I'm in there or ringside judging, and I would love to be able to do that for the fighters who I know have put in a lot of their time and energy into into the sport, into the fight.
And the only way for this to continue on is we all have to give back, all of us. No,
Yeah,
that's what martial arts is.
yeah.
Giving back. Um, can you recall any as a referee, any fights that stand out that were absolute madness or maybe things slightly got out of hand? Like, "Oh, no. Oh, boy." Is there any high intensity moments for you as a referee that you've had?
I really enjoyed the Maddox and oh my gosh,
Caden?
uh, yes, Caden,
Yeah. Yeah,
the
that
last
one was
capital.
nice.
Like I think I was standing right there, and I'm like, this is wild.
And
And
those are
like,
big boys.
yeah, and I'm like watching one or yeah, both of them pull each other's head down, and I'm like about to see a car crash happen, and just like, if I can't stop him from like, he's gonna knee him. I'm not gonna stop him.
Yeah.
But like,
Just
but
gotta
that
pucker and wait for it.
yeah, that fight wasn't. It was really entertaining. But it wasn't like there's definitely been some fights where the fighters are really squirrely and it's just they're just like flying back and forth, and I'm just like basically trying to sprint to them, from one
Yeah.
end to the other. Um, so I can't think of any names, but there's definitely those fights which are always a handful.
Yep.
Um, but no, nothing in recent memory that's just like absolutely crazy or anything, or yeah.
Yeah. You were not splattered with blood, looking like you're some murder scene or nothing.
No, I think I've gotten kneed a few times. So that's my fault for not like putting my body in the right positions to like break up a clinch, for instance,
Right.
or like hip angle and like how you're supposed to turn your hips so you don't get kneed. I definitely got elbowed once before
Oof.
because just someone just didn't hear me, and they would just like spin or they would just chuck it, and I just gotta like work my head movement to get out of there. Yeah,
Yikes. You should
yeah.
get danger pay.
Oh man, yeah.
Never enough. Um, Now, how about yourself as a fighter? What are for any reason? What are the three fights of yours that come to memory? It could be they were good fights, they were rough fights, the crowd, anything. What are when you think of your career? What are the three fights that stand out?
Um, hmm. I'm probably yeah. I might not be fully correct just on the spot here, but just in no particular order either. Like I really enjoyed my fight with Rich Fam.
Hmm,
This was when he was coming up. I think he was like 10-0 at the time.
okay,
I knew nothing about him. Didn't even know that it was 3 3-minute rounds. Like we just kind of showed up and fought.
right,
Um, and it was a great fight because he was a lefty. Didn't even know he was a lefty. Like this was a lot of the time. Crew Jeff is an amazing coach, but he just took fights, right? We just like didn't know who we were
sure.
fighting.
Here, be ready. You just fight. If you're ready,
Yeah,
you're good. Yeah,
touch gloves. Okay, he's a lefty. Okay, got it. And
right.
just, but no, I was really proud of that fight because it was just like, just threw the right kick lots. Just I think listened well, and yeah, I was
Nice.
just really proud of my performance in that fight.
Yeah, nice.
Um, I think the Greg fight was really important to me as well, coming off a
Mm,
loss. Um, yeah, the year before I had like an extremely busy year. I think I fought like 7 or 8 times in 2015,
that's
and
busy.
yeah, just it was just like a lot of like high stress fights essentially, and just going into my attitude going into the Greg fight on Journey was way better, so I was really happy for that, and the performance was great.
Yeah, cool.
Man, maybe, and I'll just say maybe my last fight with Salazar, getting dropped, and like it was the first time I think I've ever been dropped, to be
Okay,
honest. And it was Crew Jeff said the same thing. It's just like I've never really seen you hurt before. So like, you know, me getting 8 counted with a knee to the face and then being able to finish it um after the second was probably just like the
see,
idea of perseverance, right? And
well, yeah,
yeah.
you answered your own questions real time in there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's when you're all in, like how are you gonna react? So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. No, cool. And how about around the scene, whether it's east west, doesn't matter. But let's kind of try to stick it to Canada. Who are your favorite fighters to watch right now?
Man, there's so many. It's so
I
crazy.
agree.
There's so many. Um yeah, man, trying to answer the question.
We were saying here your three favorite fighters here in Canada.
Three favorite. So amateur or pro, like just everyone?
Any, any.
Any. Okay. Well, I love watching Jake fight.
Yep.
Watching Jake fights, it's
Never in a
awesome.
boring one.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, and just yeah, just leave it at that.
Sure.
Um, I do really enjoy when I see um Maddox from West Side fight.
Yep.
Always because he's just such a tall guy, like just
Yeah.
and so skilled as a lefty. He's just yeah, it's a really awesome to watch.
Yeah.
And I will just probably just to kind of space it out here, pro, amateur. I really like seeing I'll name one fighter in particular, but like in general, a lot of the youth who have been at it for a long time, who've competed internationally many times, and like you're starting to see now as they're becoming adults, just like their skill, just like go through the roof, right? So like I'll
Yeah.
say Grace Richards would be an example of that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen her a few times, man. She can beat your ass and look beautiful doing it.
right. And it's just like it's just all those. And like I love Steve as a coach, her coach Steve Lee.
Yep.
Yeah, we had some good times at IFMA together. And yeah, just seeing all those years fighting internationally and traveling paying off, like as they get older, it's just like it's crazy to see where the level's at now when they're so young.
Yeah, and a real testament that this thing is a journey. There's no destination. It's a journey, you know?
Mhm.
Like, and that's the fruits of the hard labor, taking big fights and traveling and all that good stuff. Yeah, for sure. I've never even asked myself that question, but the ones that stand out for me are, Morgan,
Mm.
uh, probably Thomas Mandra, uh, you know, Jake, Anthony Palumbo.
Yeah, Palumbo was up there for me too. He's so entertaining to watch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot, but man, yeah, it's 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 really exploded post COVID, especially Ontario, man. It's insane what happened, and in a good way. There's more fighters, fight cards than I ever thought would imagine out there. And we get to watch the Ontario scene just level up in real time. I'm not saying others aren't, but boy, you guys have really skyrocketed out there.
Yeah, and it's taken a few years to definitely build like just like a roster of A-class fighters. Like our event Bushido is in July, and I was just kind of calling some coaches this morning, just talking about potential matchups. And there's just so many potential matchups I could make with all these like names I have that are all A-class. It's wild.
Awesome,
So
love it.
yeah,
All right, man. Well,
yeah.
listen, I won't take too much more of your time, but as always, I got to know who are your three favorite fighters of all time and why.
Oh man, I was not prepared for this question. I should have seen this one coming. Um, I would say when I first started, like the guy that was on a tear that I was watching a lot of was Bokal for sure.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, just I don't know if that was an easy one, but just like just his left kick and just his style was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Definitely watched a lot of his stuff as I was getting into the sport. Um, and I feel like I have a cultural connection to Masato.
Okay. Bad
Masato,
dude, man.
yeah, yeah, just cultural connection. I think he's Japanese. I'm like, yep, going for Masato. I just love watching his fights as well. My mom's name is Masa as well, so I'm just like, yes.
Oh, there you go. Hey, wait, would you say now, again, I'm no encyclopedia or I'm not ChatGPT, but would you say the typical Japanese style you're seeing now reminds me of him? Would you say this growth of that Japanese style I don't know if you would know, but would you say he's not the originator, but started, or at least is the one who started making it popular? His speed and his up down combinations were second to none in K1 Max. And you're really seeing that now from the Japanese fighters.
Yeah, I would say maybe that like that pace and that rhythm,
Yeah.
like you're
So
mentioning.
fast.
Yeah, I think the kicking though is very different from Masato's.
Okay.
Um, yeah, maybe I gotta, he was like a strong low kicker, but I don't remember him
Yeah.
doing a lot of like the snappy roundhouse front kicks, to the body and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's kind of unique little spices in today's world. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I would say, yeah, just that rhythm and that pace. I would agree with you.
And clean. I
Yeah,
love how clean the Japanese fighters look.
yeah, very crisp, very
Yes.
crisp. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Absolutely.
just watching K1 fights like today, I don't think a lot of people do,
Right.
because K1's kind of has come back,
Yep.
and their Japanese fighters are awesome, man. Just watching those
Yep.
fights. Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
And then I would say my third one, I really liked watching Sidichai coming up as well.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, Sitsang Pinong. But I guess currently today, I
That's
do
okay.
I do enjoy watching like Tawan Chai Superbon.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Of
yeah,
course. Who doesn't?
yeah,
Isn't
exactly.
it
Yeah,
beautiful to watch? Yeah. Poetry in motion, those fellas.
yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. What you get one shout out. One shout out to one person on the Shout Out podcast. Who gets it?
It's easy. It will be my wife. My wife
Smart
mailing out.
man.
Yeah. Well, she honestly, man, she's the one that convinced me that I should open a gym in Kemptville. Right? She's the one that pushed me to like, yeah, you should go after because she's an entrepreneur herself, right? So she already took the leap of opening her own business like when she was 20, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, so she was like, You should do it. You should do it for yourself now." And she helped me like launch this thing, aside from like the logo and the graphic design stuff, like she's put in a lot of her own energy primarily to just chase my dream. Yeah, Muay Thai isn't her dream at all,
Right.
but she supported my dream, whether it was fighting, whether it was opening the gym, whether it's keeping the gym going, and like us moving into this much bigger facility. Like she's been there every step of the way, and it's just like a nice sounding board for for all of life's challenges.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, ladies. It sounds like Yuki is a cat man. um,
Uh,
anything else? Is there any sponsors or anything? Where can we find you? Where can we follow you on social media? When's the next event? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so Instagram at Boss Thai Boxing. Our next event is July 4th. I think we're almost done finding all our sponsors. We are still looking for a few more, perhaps. But then right after that, we're going straight into matchmaking. We're doing everything a bit earlier this year. My wife and I are actually going to Japan in April with my mom and my brother and my sister. It's like a
Nice.
big family trip for my mom's 70th birthday.
Oh, cool.
And so yeah, I got to do a lot of the legwork for this event up front, and then maybe a
Right.
little bit of matchmaking while I'm in Japan. But yeah, that's why I'm starting so early this year.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool, man. Cool.
yeah.
Um, awesome, man. Anything else before we're out of here?
I don't know, man. I would love to maybe in a future podcast. Like, I really enjoyed your episodes with who was the former Muay Thai Canada president there?
Robin Finley.
Yes, Robin Finley. Even your chats with Jason Fenton and Daryl, when it comes to just like the PSO, the NSO stuff, and just honestly the refereeing and judging stuff. Like, yeah, I eat those podcasts up because and you and I have briefly talked about it in person
Sure.
when
Sure.
the first time we
Well,
met in Airdrie.
well, listen, man. Do you
Yeah,
have another 10, 12 minutes?
yeah, sure, yeah, I think so.
Well, let's get
Yeah.
into it, man. Let's get into it.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Yeah,
I got time. Yeah, I just try not to take up more of than an hour of people's time. But yeah.
yeah,
So obviously, I've been asking a lot of questions, and I kind of I don't understand. I was gonna say I kind of understand. I really don't. I'm not even being coy about it. I But here's what I understand. Like, okay, listen. I've obviously said what I said about some of the issues that I see in Alberta,
mm,
but I see BC getting organized and they're running events and things are picking up. I've seen it like crazy happen in Ontario. And by the way, shout out to Manitoba. I see that there's lots of cool stuff happening there. And
yeah,
Saskatchewan, I keep seeing them now, even on the Muay Thai World Cup. But this PSO thing, it it seems to me that for Alberta to get anywhere or properly catch up to the organization that I see happening in British Columbia and Ontario, there needs to be a PSO. No?
yeah. I guess depending on what you mean by properly catching up and like what you want Alberta to look like. Yeah.
Organized. We're very disorganized here.
Hmm.
And I can see it from the outside that things are happening in team selections and tournaments and provincials and like this just does not happen here. And don't get me wrong, we have great events, we have great promotions, but that's missing. So basically what I see it is for the most part is one of us are kind of doing this an event at a time.
Yeah.
And and where does that really get you? You know, I don't know. I really don't know. Like I've never really been part of something like this, but um,
Hmm.
yeah, and if it is Muay Thai Canada, and again, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be, but I also hear things. I know I've talked about this, but like commission stuff, like the fees are outrageous. Like, um, I don't know if that has anything to do with the PSO side of anything, or if that's because like that's where I get really muddy. Is it Calgary Combative Sports Commission outside of it that we're? I don't know. I don't know, but that's where things get really muddy. But um, I do notice that when I'm out in Ontario, especially capital punishment, I do notice that there's a and again, I'm trying not to be that guy, but the quality of judging is substantial. There's way less split decisions, and it's a little more predictable.
Mhm.
When there's a decision, um, where do we? How do we do that? What are you guys doing? How many training courses do you guys do?
Yes, we definitely do. Yeah, there's a few ways we can answer a lot of the stuff that you said. So to answer your first question, yeah, like we have officials training at least I would say twice a year, one
Okay,
within the first 6 months, one in the second 6 months.
and
The
is it a
challenge
must?
is it a must?
Is it a must?
No, it is a
Okay.
I would say they have like officials refresher courses. So that's what I did at Westside, the last capital punishment.
Yep.
But it's generally to train up new officials. That's what these
Sure.
training courses are primarily for. Anytime there is like a potential rule change, then there would be depending on how significant it is, there would be like a refresher course,
Right.
which is free for the officials, just low barrier of entry. It's a refresher, just come so we can communicate it. Or if it's really simple, they just do a Zoom call.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
I forgot to ask this when I was talking to Jason Fenton on that podcast, which really, to be honest, educated me. That was a great
that
podcast.
was a great podcast. Yeah.
This whole time I'm thinking all of Muay Thai, but let's this the PSOs and stuff. Are we only talking amateur Muay Thai?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, yes. The PSO is the Provincial Sporting Organization for, I think, amateur sports.
Right. Like kind
Yeah,
of like Hockey Canada kind of thing. Like
correct. Yeah.
I get it. And it's like, well then how do we get the professional thing going? Like how do we get more of that? Great, we all on the same page, amateur, great, but how about the pros?
Yeah, and honestly, I don't actually know much about the professional circuit. I keep hearing that like it's going to be possible in Ontario.
So right
I
here.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with how. I think I think a lot of like I would my guess would be that the professional side would only exist if they have a strong foundational amateur side, right? Like you kind
Sure,
of need like
sure.
an amateur foundation so that you have an argument for the professional.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and ultimately, like I think the really challenging thing is, and I think Jason mentioned it in just like the board that they have put together, is the thing that I think really you need to put in order to have this PSO get built in Alberta, for instance, is to have somebody do the not so sexy things, the
Paperwork.
policies, the procedures, and you
Yeah.
need structure because you know Ontario wants to see they're like the most legislation heavy province, let's say, so they just
Sure.
want to see like you check all these boxes
Right.
and prove it. Check all these
And I get
boxes.
that
Yeah.
Muay Thai Canada's obviously done that and therefore have earned that respect. Um,
Over years, like right over a decade of just like lobbying and putting in the time and the effort and taking trips to Thailand to learn and bring it back and put the thing together and show the government like this is what we've created, and this is straight from the originating country, so they want to see that like that paper trail, if you will.
sure.
Yeah,
No, that makes complete sense to me.
yeah.
How long do people have to shadow, like you were saying, at like events, being judges and stuff? How long does that go on for?
So I don't know if there's an actual timeline because I think it has to do with number of events,
Yeah, okay.
and I think everyone is different because some officials get it right away, or some people who become officials get it right away because maybe they've competed or they just have a good eye for it. They get it.
Yep.
They shadow for just a little bit and they become an official. Other people, it depends. Yeah,
Sure, okay.
sometimes like it's just not for them as well, right? And not we, but I have a feeling some people have had some tough conversations about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Um, and what about things like Wacko or Waco? I don't know how you pronounce it, but so where are they just kickboxing?
Yes, they're the kickboxing PSO.
Okay, I see. So okay, that makes sense. Um,
And like I actually this is the first year I don't my gym isn't registered with Wacko, but I have in the past because although they're kickboxing, certain gyms in even Ottawa may not. They've had bad experiences working with Muay Thai Ontario, so they rather sanction their events through Waco. And then we all work together. So I register under Waco so I can have some of my athletes compete on their shows. Um,
But
and I
that's only
find
kickboxing, right?
it's only kickboxing. Yeah.
So if you decide you're unhappy with Muay Thai Ontario, you're done Muay Thai then? Like you have to go to kickboxing. You wouldn't be able to fight Muay Thai if you didn't want to work at Muay Thai
If you're
Ontario.
done with them, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
much.
and yeah, you haven't beef. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you switch. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. That's good to know. Wait. In your opinion, I know there's got to be years to get. And even then, there's still work to do in Ontario. We see that, and it's being done. Where does a place like anywhere, let's call it not even, I'll keep picking in Alberta, Saskatchewan, any place. Where do you start? How do you start that path?
Man, I wish I knew. Like,
Sure.
truthfully, I wish I did know. Um,
I'm not saying you do, but I just thought maybe you had a little more insight than me. You're talking to a block of wood right now.
right. Like if I was to like try to problem solve, like I imagine, so when you have to go to the sport authority of your province or whatever, and you talk about how you want to make something a provincial sport. They're probably going to be like, okay, well, what are the rules? What is the policy? And you're going to have all of that, and it's much easier to probably point at a province who's figured it out as a template,
Yeah.
and to be like, it's working over here. If we follow these policies and procedures and rules, we'd have to, Saskatchewanify it,
Hmm.
but we could do that. It will take a lot of time and energy, and we could do that. And I'm sure there's a process where all of that needs to be approved, right? Because that
Sure. Sure.
province's authority probably needs to accept it in whatever process that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're pretending here, but we all pretend like that we don't know. But we all been hearing about grumblings of things like professional and things happening over here as well, PSO stuff. Like it's all we all know. We just pretend we didn't hear about it. But yeah, it's maybe it's just this year, maybe it's next year, but I'm very curious to see even let's say professional Muay Thai does come to Ontario even before Alberta, which I'm assuming will easily happen. Before Alberta gets a PSO, um, for amateur Muay Thai, I'm just curious to see where these steps go. Like what the next 5 to 10 years looks like if Ontario keeps going the way it's going, British Columbia keeps going the way it's going, and nobody else does. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know, but I see the steps that are being taken to just be more organized and therefore more accepting by the government and the community uh, as a whole. Like I see it. I see it happening. It's working.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. And I think if as professional comes in, then we're gonna have like a proper, we kind of already have a very loose ranking, if you will. But
Yeah.
like if we have professional, and I think the whole country is kind of unified in that sense, like if big organizations like RWS or One or even other promotions in other countries, big promotions, if they go to Canada and be like, who are your top fighters? Okay, well, we have a professional circuit now. We got professional ranking now. Well, and there's going to be arguments probably on like what three-letter organization should be at the top of it,
Right. Right.
right? But at least we've got something. We've got some sort of
That's
ranking
right.
that
That's right.
we could point to and say they should
Right.
go to the
There's a paper
international
trail.
level. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, I'm not picking on us not knowing what to do with professional fighters. Only until recently we had maybe you could probably count on one hand how many professional fighters this country had as far as Muay Thai goes. So just like everything else, we have more. Just things have to happen and level up, and it's cool, man. It just needs to happen across the country. I know we're a giant country; it's huge, but the separateness, the segregation and stuff, like it's between each other and organizations, LMNOP and XYZ, and just it's not helping.
yeah. Well, like I don't actually know why. You probably know way more than I do. I don't actually know why things aren't happening in Alberta. Is it because there isn't a group that can work together to build a board and like become a PSO? Is that the issue? Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, like I man, it was a long time ago. I remember the CMTCA,
Okay.
Canadian Muay Thai Council Amateur. I remember being on a board meeting there, and I was too young to even understand what the hell was happening, to be honest. But Yeah, like, I guess that's sort of what has to happen. Someone's gonna have to take that steering wheel, but or not, I don't know. And maybe not steering wheel is not the right answer, but I don't know, man. Like, that's the thing. It feels so like I'm doing my thing and they're doing their thing and he's doing their thing and that lady's doing her thing that like, man, I feel here we go again, another podcast from fucking put myself in the dirt here, but
Sorry, dude, I did that to you. Well, I'm just trying to understand. It just sounds like everyone's kind of very content doing their own thing and not necessarily like, how about we all just try to band together to make one thing? It's not the
but I
attitude.
wouldn't say content is the word.
Okay,
Like, I'm not saying we hate each other, but there's definitely a separation of like we're doing what's best for ourselves. Not everybody by any means, but that's not helping things. And I think that's probably the big problem, to be honest, is you know those guys over there, we're doing what we want, and you can right now you can anywhere you go, you pick your three letters, you work with them, and if you don't like it, piss off, and yeah, it feels like if we have to get people on board in Alberta, that alone might be. I'm not saying we can't do it, but it feels like that might be a big hurdle.
right.
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
So
it definitely seems like everyone, again, maybe content isn't the right word, but everyone is just like very comfortable doing what they've been doing.
right,
And if we do something else and there's this big change, then we're not going to be doing what we're doing anymore. And that
yeah,
idea is, just
right.
not what they
But
want.
that helps. I mean, of course, we get to fight, but like we can't have what's happening if that's how we do it. I guess is what I'm trying to politely say.
Yep.
But man, listen, it's another podcast like this. I'm gonna have to make a podcast just about ice cream or something, so people don't get mad at me.
Take a break, take a lap. Yeah.
If anything, coming on the back of these last couple podcasts, I've been around a long time, and sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to like get in trouble. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to ruffle feathers. But can we not just talk about this stuff? Like, I'm not 25 years old. I'm not calling that, oh, you fucking idiot. Like, I don't, that's not how I want this to go. But these are things that I think we should be talking about because no, if I don't really know, chances are most other gym owners or coaches don't really know either. Like, and a lot of it's like answers we don't know. Well, why does the commission do this and that? And you sort of dig in and you're like, it's not at all what you thought it was. And you're like, oh, gee, I didn't know. And, um, but, I mean, maybe that's the direction this goes for the next little bit is bringing up rules and officiating and maybe just highlighting some of the things that, are happening outside of the ring that have to do with inside of the ring, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think you should continue to talk about it, man. I think your curiosity has answered a lot of questions that people didn't even know they had, just to have a better understanding of how everything works. And yeah, man, I think it's the first step to, if you guys want change, like that's the first step for sure. So
Well,
keep
and
at it,
maybe you
man.
maybe you just nailed it. Like, I'm genuinely just curious. Like if I ask like, "Why did you do that?" I'm not like, "Why did you do that?" I'm really like, "Why? What made you come to that conclusion? Like, why did you do that?" So, you're right. I'm genuinely just curious. How does this stuff work? I really don't know, and if it sounds a little weird, well, tell me why. But, there you go, man. That's what you wanted? You wanted me to get in trouble again? That's why you wanted to bring this up? Thanks, man.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
At the end of the day, I love our community. This is all I know. So my whole life is in this community, and the changes are happening whether we like them or not. The only thing that stays the same is change. Changes are happening, changes are coming, and we need to change with the times too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, man. You got to keep
You
up
know,
with it. We'll fall
awesome.
behind.
And as far as I've mentioned you quietly, anonymously on the podcast. If you care, you could go find it now. But listen, as far as you yourself, you're somebody I greatly respect in the Muay Thai community as a gym owner. Like I said, I see all these fun parties and stuff you have, and I'm like, dang, I'm not doing my job here, man. I'm not doing my job. And from coaches to yourself to the gym to your officiating, I see you as an A+ human being, sir.
Appreciate it, Jay. Yeah, man. Just try my best every day, just try to be the best I can for myself. So
That's it. That's
appreciate
it.
it.
And as I explained to people, I'm sorry to end it this way, but I'm just a fucking guy. That's it. Just a fucking
We
guy.
we all are, man. We're just people, and yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Just trying our
Awesome,
best.
man. Are you going to be officiating at Capital Punishment?
I will be. Yes, sir. I'll see you
Good.
there.
Awesome. Once you're done officiating, listen, I don't want to get you in trouble. Once you're actually done officiating and it's all over, are you actually going to hang around for one wobbly pop?
I did last time. Yeah, I just got to change my shirt. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it tends to be a late night though, and then I got like a 40-minute drive back home, right, to Kentville. So yeah, I stick around for one, and then I peace out.
Then adios.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, sir.
So
Well,
I'll
thank
see
you
you
for
there.
your time. And once again, thank you for bringing out the curiosity in me just about some of the changes that are happening, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I could answer more, but yeah, I'm curious too, to be honest. So
But also at the same time, you are an official with Muay Thai Canada, so the questions I had regarding that were awesome, man. I really appreciate it.
awesome. My
All
pleasure,
right,
man.
man. Well,
Thanks
have
for
yourself
having
a
me.
good day. And it's Easter weekend this weekend. I'll bring my computer to the in-laws. That way I'm busy and I don't have to just watch sports that's not fighting. And I'll get this podcast out.
Amazing. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it,
All right,
man.
sir. Thanks, Yuki. Talk soon, man.
Talk soon.